There's a hunger and a desire to win, but there's also something that's very poised and calming about doing it at home with the people that you love and the people that you want to go to battle with every single day.
On Monday, the Indiana Fever were the center of the women's basketball community, as they have been for much of the WNBA's 2024 season. This was due to the press conference that formally announced Stephanie White as the franchise's new head coach, which had several sweet moments between White and the three Fever players present: Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull.
So why is right now the right time for you to return to Indiana?
You know, I can't imagine the stars aligning any better. You know, certainly after having gone off and had a number of other experiences from a coaching standpoint, growing up, learning, the Fever going through some changes as well. And now at this point where basketball has taken to another level in the WNBA and for the Indiana Fever, and to be able to come back and work with another 22, you know, a generational player in Caitlin Clark, a generational player in Aaliyah Boston, certainly when you think about back-to-back Rookie of the Years and what each of those players have done up until this point for their universities, in the game of basketball, for the women's basketball culture and community. It's unprecedented.
Caitlin Clark seemed just as enthusiastic to start working with Stephanie White as the new Indiana Fever coach did. Clark showered praise on White during a news conference at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Monday, where she was officially presented as the franchise's new head coach. "We know how much of a legend she is in Indiana," Clark told reporters, according to ESPN. "I think that's really cool. Playing against her, I would say I felt like her teams always had the best scouts against us. I think that just speaks to her knowledge of the game and her way to analyze, and she clearly was onto something. Hopefully, in turn, now that she knows how to stop us, that should be a good way to know how to help us beat certain things as well." White is a native of Indiana, having played high school basketball in the state and collegiate basketball at Purdue before being drafted 21st overall by the now-defunct Charlotte Sting. The new Fever head coach was a 4-year player for the franchise and an assistant coach under Lynn Dunn when they won the WNBA championship in 2012. White had previously served as the franchise's head coach in 2015 and 2016, as well as the Connecticut Sun for the previous 2 seasons. White will now coach one of the greatest names in women's basketball at what he termed as an important time throughout women's athletics.
And to be able to work with those guys and Kelsey Mitchell, who I think has weathered the storm of Indiana Fever basketball, and I felt like had the best year of her career, you know, this year. And really, when you think about teams, you think about a core 3, right? You think about a big 3, and to be able to work with that big 3, and continue to work and put pieces around them to compete for a championship, back in my home state, it couldn't have aligned any better.
This is the moment we've been waiting for, so I don't know if you prepare for it as much as you embrace it. Embrace where we are, White said about coaching in such a pivotal time for the WNBA during an interview on NBA Today. Think about the momentum moving forward, where we wanted this league to be, and where we still aspire for it to go. Just embrace this moment, embrace this opportunity, continue to help this team, this franchise be better, and position ourselves for success. There is a lot of hope about the Fever's future right now. However, the women's basketball community as a whole had cause to be encouraged Monday, when ESPN reporter Michael Vopel published a story with Clark's intriguing comments about perhaps playing in the unrivaled Women's Basketball League. According to Sports Business Journal's Tom Friend's October 31st report, Clark is leaning 60-40 to say yes to playing in Unrivaled. While this was a great outcome, Clark had not publicly expressed her choice until Vopel's ESPN piece on Monday. There has been much speculation about whether the league will be able to lure Clark, who has been non-committal. Clark said Monday she had no deadline in her mind about deciding, Vopel wrote. "We'll see," Clark said of the decision to play in Unrivaled in the article. "I don't know, just taking it as it goes. See if I want to play eventually." Granted, Clark isn't saying much here, and she appears to be indecisive. But the fact that she's prepared to acknowledge she's still thinking about it should make fans looking forward to Unrivaled happy on Monday. As for the WNBA season, Stephanie White, the Indiana Fever's new coach, has two responsibilities that are both comparable and extensive. The first goal is to develop the Fever's youthful talent, particularly star Caitlin Clark, so that the team can win games and compete for titles, which would be great for the brand.
Yeah, it's it's interesting because I've been able to see it from the sideline for so many years with her, and I will never forget calling a game at Maryland last year, and I was in the same hotel as them for the first time. And I came down the escalator, had to have been 3 hours before the game, maybe 3.5 hours before the game, and the lobby was full. The only other time I'd seen that was when I'm at an NBA or NFL event, right? And they're in the hotel lobby and it's just packed and it's roped off. And this was at Maryland. And 3.5 hours before the game, when I'm leaving to go over to do my commentating duties, the gym is 1.5 miles away. It took me 45 minutes to get there. It was nuts. It was insane. And for the first time, calling her games on the road in a sold out environment and seeing the hoopla, I guess you could say Taylor Swift 2.0. It was like, this is the moment that we've reached. And this could be the first time that we've seen the carryover from college to the WNBA.
The WNBA is coming off its most successful season ever, with record attendance, broadcast ratings, retail sales, and overall popularity. It was propelled by the emergence of a star-studded rookie class, led, naturally, by Clark. The Iowa rookie is the Tiger Woods of women's basketball, attracting the attention of fans, sponsors, and media who had previously exhibited just a casual interest. However, it can only persist, let alone develop, if Clark is performing at her prime, both in terms of output and her distinct style of play, while Indiana is participating in key games and lengthy playoff runs. White, an Indiana native and former Purdue standout, has been tasked with helping make this happen. She played 5 seasons in the WNBA and has served as head coach for the Fever, 2015-16, Vanderbilt in college, and, most recently, the Connecticut Sun, where she was named League Coach of the Year in 2023. She also worked as a broadcaster covering Clark's Iowa games. She understands the potential. I spoke with Caitlin last night, White revealed to ESPN over the weekend. And I think just overall excitement. I have been watching Caitlin play since she was an 8th grader. When I was coaching in the college realm and covering her games in college, and just an exciting time for me. Very excited to be working with her and this young team. She's a student of the game, White added. She loves the game of basketball. She has been so great in how she's handled all of the attention. She just wants to play. She just wants to win. And I'm looking forward to coaching players like that, and this young franchise, this young team, and taking our next steps. The next stages are significant. Indiana broke their 7-year playoff drought this season, but was swept in the first round by White's Sun. The Fever wants more. The WNBA could use more.
And so to be able to be at this pivotal moment is incredible. I really can't put it into words because when I coached that one, number 24, here, and we were starting this Indiana Fever franchise to now, this is what we've envisioned. And so to be able to be a part of it on this side and to help take it to another level, I'm incredibly excited and grateful.
Clark's influence on television ratings is remarkable. According to ESPN, the WNBA Finals averaged 728,000 viewers in 2023. 1 year later, all games on ESPN ABC averaged 1.2 million viewers, and the 2024 Finals, even without Caitlin Clark, drew 1.6 million, a 115% increase, reported ESPN. How astonishing are these figures? Consider that NBA games on ESPN, ABC, TNT had an average of 1.56 million viewers in 2023 to 24. During the 2024 regular season, Clark and the Fever appeared in 21 games with over 1 million viewers and 5 with more than 2 million. The WNBA draft saw a record number of viewers, 2.45 million. The WNBA All-Star Game, 3.44 million viewers, set a record. All of this led to greater revenue, advertising, ticket sales, and corporate sponsorship. Teams began going on chartered flights. The WNBA has revealed plans for future growth in San Francisco, Portland, and Toronto, with additional cities vying for a spot. Business is starting to pick up for a 27-year-old league that was previously struggling and substantially funded by the NBA. There is no doubt that the WNBA has many exceptional players and teams, including players that outperform Caitlin Clark, despite being first-team All-WNBA as a rookie. However, none have been the attraction. They just haven't. The PGA Tour has many excellent players before Tiger Woods elevated it to new heights of popularity. This occurs. It is up to the sport to capitalize on the good fortune of having such a celebrity. Clark instantly shifted the needle, thanks in part to her recent trip to the NCAA championship game, where her Iowa Hawkeyes lost to South Carolina in front of 18.9 million people. However, one of the WNBA's success stories was that fans remained interested while Indiana recovered from a bad start, 1-8. The Fever not only started winning, but Clark fit into the program and made records with several brilliant passes and Logo 3 jumpers. The crowd expects to watch the stars perform the songs, and Clark did exactly that all summer. Now White must emphasize it, not only because the Fever have a fantastic young nucleus of talent, including 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston, but also because the WNBA has a lot of space for further expansion. Michael Jordan would have remained Michael Jordan throughout the 1990s, but the NBA benefited greatly from the Chicago Bulls' superb coaching and twice assembling complementary squads to maximize his strengths and win 6 championships. The more Clark plays to her ability, top 5 player in the league, and style, exciting and high octane, the better for Indiana and the WNBA.